Hey, question for you. How many times did you think you said
15?
15. Let's count. You down with that?
If they want to see it, that's fine with me.
Let's do it.
All right. Bring on the counter. Ho, 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 moviegoers, and welcome back to another Wife Pick Wednesday right here on Surreal Cinemas with me, your host, Not Santa Claus. And today we're going to... Graham's looking at me funny. Today we're going to be looking into the movie The Family Stone. Yeah, grab your cocoa, your eggnog, your holiday wine, and let's jump right into it, okay? So The Family Stone is a 2005 movie with Dermot Mulroney, Sarah Jessica Parker, Diane Keaton, and Claire Danes. This is ironically one of my favorite holiday movies. I feel for these characters a lot, and I'm not a fan of Sarah Jessica Parker, so I will tell you how much I like this movie if I don't like one of the main actresses in it, and it's still my favorite. It has a very impressive cast. It's got the dad from, I think he was Coach, or on the Coach. I know him from Parenthood with Lauren Graham, the TV show, and I liked him a lot in that. He plays the dad in this. Diane Keaton is the mom. She's got breast cancer. She fought it once, but it came back again. But she doesn't want to tell her family until after the holidays, which I think is a big mistake. So the oldest boy, played by Dermot, brings home his girlfriend, played by Sarah Jessica Parker. And she is extremely uptight. She is... atypical is about the closest thing the nicest thing I could say. And it's not all her fault. She feels really out of place at this family gathering with these people who are rambunctious and loud, and she comes from a family that's just her grandparents and her sister and her. Now, to be perfectly fair, holidays with family are difficult anyways. They're extremely stressful, and family makes it even more so, especially if you come from a dysfunctional family. And I'm not saying that the Stone family is dysfunctional. I'm just saying that they have dysfunction in their family. Pretty much. Rachel McAdams plays the weird, eccentric sister who doesn't like Jessica Parker's character, whose name is Meredith, at all. And she does not hide it at all, that she doesn't like her. And then they have it seems like they tried to hit every stereotype within this movie. Their youngest son is both deaf and gay, and he's married to a black man. And that was a little in your face and on the nose for me. But if you let that go, it's nice to see other I don't know how to say that correctly. Minorities represented in such a large holiday film. So Meredith is a workaholic. She's a stiff person. She gets this weird tick in the back of her throat when she gets uncomfortable or nervous. But she does really badly want to fit in. She wants them to like her. And that makes her really, really nervous. And they don't. They make it very clear that they don't like her. But the family dynamics as a whole is really interesting and really fun to watch. You've got the middle brother who just, he's kind of a free spirit. He doesn't have much responsibility. I believe he's a teacher, if I remember correctly. But he's kind of the free spirit. Not the way that Rachel McAdams' character is. She's the eccentric, weird one. And I think that growing up kind of in this family would have been hectic, but it would also have been very warm and very fun. It's very evident that everybody loves each other, and maybe they're very connected, and maybe a little bit too much. They're very much into each other's business, which can bring about a family warmth that a lot of people miss, but it can also mean that you have no privacy in your life at all, and your siblings want to know every aspect of everything. So Dermot's character wants to marry Meredith, but the whole family doesn't like her, and that brings about Meredith's anxiety to a point in which she calls her sister to come down. And as soon as she comes down, ironically, Dermot's character falls in love with her. Like at first sight. Like that never freaking happens. That doesn't, I mean, you can fall in lust at first sight, but never really love. Love takes time and effort and energy. So I didn't really like that point of that. But it is what it is. I do like that, you know, they pay attention to not putting in your face that the middle brother likes Meredith, but he doesn't come out and say it until she thinks they slept together. that turns into a whole mess on Christmas morning. It's kind of like most of my Christmases, honestly. It turns into a giant mess. It was a really, really well done. And I do want to point out a few things. I do like the fact that they run the sign language all the way through the movie. They don't just start with it and then forget about it halfway through the movie like a lot of movies do when it comes to deaf people. They just kind of forget it's supposed to be a thing and they drop it halfway through the movie, and this one doesn't, and that's really, really awesome. They did a really good job there. Two, I can't imagine missing your parents at Christmas time, because eventually the mom dies, and they come back the next year, and it's just the way that they handled the situation was so heartwarming and so well done, and it's one of the reasons why this is one of my favorite Christmas movies. It was just beautifully done. Absolutely heart-wrenching and yet heartwarming at the same time. So I do want to say that one of my favorite lines in this entire movie was, "Stop trying. It must be so exhausting keeping that lid screwed on so tight." Kind of reminded me of my husband. You know, sometimes you just gotta unwind and let loose. And y'all should see this movie, especially this holiday season. But it's got top rates for me, so that's where I'm gonna leave you tonight, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas. Toodles.